Hey, welcome to Quick Looks of the Casual Hour. My name is Bobby, and for this quick look of Assassin's Creed Mirage, the biggest mirage of them all, Chase Kinnicky.
I see it, but it might go away in a bit.
Yes, it might. Chase, Assassin's Creed Mirage. This is, I want to say, I don't even know. Like,
Yeah, no. What number Assassin's Creed is this?
Take
a guess.
I would say this is the 9th or 10th mainline.
Assassin's Creed Mirage is an action-adventure game developed by Ubisoft Bordeaux and published by Ubisoft. The game is the 13th major installment in the Assassin's Creed series and successor to 2020's Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yes,
They make too many goddamn Assassin's Creed games.
Well, what I know is that this was originally DLC.
That's right.
For Valhalla. And this is Basim. He was in that game, and he was helping you set up your camp in the Viking world there. But this is about his up and coming with the Hidden Ones and his story here in Baghdad. And this is probably what a lot of people over the last 5 years-ish have been asking for, which is a kind of a return to form. This is very much the Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 3 era play style.
Yeah, like from the back, I was gonna say that's just Altair. We found him.
We found him. So
also, Bobby, your back's on fire. Just want to let you know.
That is one of the things that I'll show you a little bit about. Some of the Ubisoft is going to Ubisoft stuff that they're doing here.
Sure.
But yeah, right out of the gate, you can still synchronize your spot and get familiar with the area that you're in. So we are here in Baghdad. This is a much more contained story. It is 20 hours to beat the game, they say, which is very much welcome compared to the 200 hours it's taken to beat the last few. But let's do what we do best here, which is fall into some hay, struggle straw.
So I'm excited for this because I played Assassin's Creed 1, I played Assassin's Creed 2, I played Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and then I played a little bit of Assassin's Creed 3 and went, oh, this is bad now. And I have more or less stopped playing Assassin's Creeds after that. I played like the first PSP one, the one that also had Altair in it. But I've just kind of quit cold turkey. You kept going. You've been playing a lot of these games. I remember you playing and talking about Assassin's Creed Origins, and I think you guys even gifted me that at one point, so I played a little bit of Origins. But you kept going with the kind of new Destiny style that Origins brought in, and then they continued on with Odyssey and Valhalla. So where you're saying this one's kind of a return to form?
Yes.
Where does this kind of feel compared to early Assassin's Creeds versus the more modern Valhallas?
This feels like 2 to me. This feels like Ezio. There's definitely, they've brought some of the stuff that they've included, which I think worked well in those newer renditions of Assassin's Creed, but this is absolutely, if you were a fan of those older ones, that's what this is here. So let me kind of show like a little bit of what I mean by that. So it is way more stealth focused than the last few games have been. What I've been doing here is the Eagle Vision, and you can actually pickpocket if you're not being in the viewpoint of the guards, and you get some really nice like sellable stuff. Sometimes you're going to get money.
Took that guy's ring.
I took his ring. You're absolutely right. I did. So it's all here, like blending in the crowds, sitting to pass the time. But they've added in some of the mechanics from the other game when it comes to your kit here. So, like you were mentioning, hey, you've got your back's on fire. Well, that's a talisman that we have here, and you have outfits that you can get. They all bring different elements. This is your main one that you will find upgradable blueprints for, and then you are getting materials like when you loot chests or kill people that you can use to go up in tiers. So maybe you find a play style that you really like. This one here, enemies hear you less whenever I'm moving around, which is great.
Sure.
that can go up further if I want to be more of like that silent assassin. But I've got other outfits like the sand one, which once during a conflict, I can survive a lethal hit, which is great. So if I want to switch that over, well, hang on a second. That kind of looks. What's going on here? Why does he look that way? Well, I don't know. We'll leave it that way. Probably should put out this sand sword, I guess, since I'm wearing that outfit.
Okay.
And then maybe.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the dagger time. Okay. So.
Okay. I see what's happening here.
Yeah, that's what's going on here. So this is what's cool, though.
Is that something that you get through Ubisoft Connect or whatever?
This is part of the. So I'm playing this via Ubisoft Plus.
Okay.
And you get the deluxe version of the game through their service. So that's what this is here. But they've brought over some of the elements from the more RPG Destiny style. So like this healing sand, killing an enemy while time has slowed down regenerates 20% health. Well, how do you slow down time? With this one.
Sure.
So perfect parries slow down time for 3 seconds. So you've got a really cool synergy. And you'll notice that I've got these arrows above the icons here, because when you go into your inventory, they actually give you these upgrade schematics with that. So I can upgrade that gear a few times to make it even more powerful. But you're also going to get these really cool trinkets when you're doing stuff out in the world now. So like this one here, the Scholar of Favor, I can give that to somebody in town. I don't have any of those, but like this one here, I've got these merchant favor tokens. So I'll show you right here, because it's a merchant. If I wanted to buy a weapon, I can come up here, talk to her. And when you go into the shop now, well, I don't have it on hers, but you can give them that token and get a permanent 10% discount. Because she's just upgrading. So like she's a blacksmith here, so I can have her upgrade these, or I can change the appearance and all that fun stuff. So you can do that stuff with it. Let me leave out of this, and I will show you what I mean with those daggers. I'll just go pick a fight with a rando so you can see that. I don't want to say they've dumbed down, but they've gone way back to the last 3 games have been incredibly heavy on combat, in my opinion. And you did not, if you wanted to do that, that's cool. But the games like Assassin's Creed has always been more about stealth, get in, get out. And if you do have to get into a fight, make it very quick and then go and disappear. And this one uses notoriety as well.
Okay. Yeah, like in the Assassin's Creed games that I played. Oh, I also played Revelations, the last Ezio one as well. Like those games were much like you said, it's much more about stealth and trying to not be in combat when possible. But even when you were in combat, it was much more about being defensive and countering. And then Origins and Odyssey happened, and it was like, oh well, now you're just the aggressor. Now this is just kind of like an action game.
Yeah. This here is they want you, like, you can get bonuses for clearing people out, but at the end of it, it's more about you were never there at all,
right?
And they've made it like fighting is relatively simple. And I'm going to trigger it off here. I just want to kind of thin the herd a bit before we get too far into, because there's like maybe 3 more guys. Oh, 5 more. Shit. Okay.
Yeah, decent amount. Yeah.
But anyway, it is kind of getting back to those areas of I want to make this more about me explore. Oops, okay, now we're definitely gonna have to fight. So if he comes at that red, means that you have to dodge it because he's a big dude.
Unblockable, sure.
Yeah, and he can only hurt or be attacked from the back. Now that guy I could have parried, which is what we want, and this is not going well for us at all because oh god,
that's can you parry fire?
No. Parry this, filthy casual.
Uh-oh.
All right, now we're gonna try and parry this guy so I can slow down time and heal because we need to do that desperately.
Yeah, it's not just your back that's on fire; it's your front that's on fire.
Yes. Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah,
okay.
Burn, baby, burn.
So you can see, not only is combat not encouraged, I'm not very good at it.
Yeah. Oh, desynchronize. Yeah, let's talk. How much of the animus are you dealing with in this game?
So I'm not very far into it, and I am personally not experienced any of that yet.
Okay.
But I happen to know that there's going to be some stuff that comes with that, as far as the story I know of this character from Valhalla. Like,
Do you, do you know like what's okay? Desmond died, right?
Desmond died, I think, back in like the 3 era,
Yeah, I think
three or
that's right.
3 or Syndicate era.
Okay.
Oh, really quick before you get into the story stuff,
Okay.
this is the map. Like, it's not small, but compared to the other ones, where you would have to travel by boat, like multiple continents, like
Yeah.
very doable. You still have the icons for the shit. That is going to be somebody that will take down your notoriety. So if you go in like what I just did with that fight, I would have had notoriety, which I would have been seen easier. This is going to be a tailor where you can buy new outfits. Trader, this is where you can sell the stuff that you steal.
Sure.
And then blacksmith is going to be buying weapons, upgrading weapons. It's pretty contained there. The other thing, merchant groups, you can blend in like the old school games. And then musician, they can distract guards for you. And then you can find like little hooligan gangs that will go and fight people for you as well.
Okay.
And you can leave via mount as well. So like if you leave a city area, we're in the heart of Baghdad right now. We're leading up to our first assassin mission. You can see here you've got a very simplified skill tree compared to other versions of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I've done the kickback, and I can reset that and get a point back if I want to. I'm currently sitting on 1, but then you have this really fun investigation where, hey, this target might know something about your main target. And I've done one part of that. I'm now doing the second part. And to do that, you have your little eagle friend that can come up. And I've already marked it on here, but you can see that location there. I identified as that's where Roshan might be for me to go and talk to. Also, I like that it tells you how many chests are in the area that you're in. And then enigmas are used as like treasure maps that will help you find upgrade blueprints. There's also the whole, I don't know how much you're in the know of this, but the last several Assassin's Creeds, they've actually put out like a library version where you can just go and explore and do shit.
Yeah.
So
I follow some YouTube channel that does like historical stuff with video games, and they really like the
yeah,
Assassin's Creed, like the educational versions that they put out.
so I picked up one of those. That was like a little glowing orb, and that's just part of a codex that if I come out of this and go over, they have a whole segment for the history. So if you wanted to learn a little bit about what you were seeing in here, pretty cool. Like they always do a really good job with that. There's tutorials in their database, and then as far as the world goes, this is just the overworld map. And I found like random shit. Like I came down here and I was just exploring, and I found this whole tomb that led to this sword that I got, which I really like. It does every 5th hit poisons an enemy, and I actually found
seems really good.
Yeah, that's what I've been rocking for the most part. And what I like about it is I found, because every sword has a companion dagger, I found the hidden one dagger. So melee kills of poisoned enemies create a poison cloud. So
All right,
it gets really cool like synergies that you can start to build out with this. The other thing that you can do, you can find dyes that will alter the look of your gear, which I think it looks actually really cool how they're doing some of that. Okay, so Chase, what did you like about Assassin's Creed when you were playing it?
I liked the setting of Assassin's Creed 1 a lot. I liked that Middle Eastern setting, so I'm already liking this in a similar way.
Yeah.
When it came to like 2 in Brotherhood and Revelations, I really enjoyed the idea of like building the assassins group and getting getting like those side missions that you could send your guys on, or being able to like call them to have some backup. And I've gone back and forth on this. I think at the beginning I thought, oh, you don't need all this sci-fi bullshit, because I just like being in the world. And I know like the story of Assassin's Creed, or the story of how Assassin's Creed got made, is that, you know, they just wanted to do the historical stuff, and then
Right.
the brass is like, well, that's people don't give a fuck about that, so they had to put in the sci-fi stuff to kind of get get upper management interested, and then they could kind of go back and forth, and everyone was cool with that. So those are the things I really remember. But then, yeah, I just remember the story getting into a place that I didn't care about. Desmond killed Kristen Bell at one point, and then he apparently died. I think he might have died in 3, like you were saying, because I don't remember him dying. I remember somebody talking about him dying.
Yeah, he died out of the Animus in 3, 3 or 4, one of those two, if I'm not mistaken.
And then I just don't know anything else about. I know they've gone back. Like at one point, you were working at the place that makes the Animus. I forgot the name, but it was supposed to be like Ubisoft, or like Ubisoft was the bad company at one point.
Yes.
I don't know. This series just kind of got away from me, and part of it was that I just started to get tired of open world games in general, and these were the open worldiest of open world games.
Totally. I think that they went way far into another area where Ubisoft has had to do this a few times, where, I mean, it's infamous for, I think they kind of kicked it off with Assassin's Creed 2.
Infamous is a different company, different video game by a different company.
Oh yes, thank you. Thank you, Chase. Wow. People were not thrilled with the lack of variety in Assassin's Creed 1, and Assassin's Creed 2 is like very infamous for being the Ubisoft always dunks on their second at bat, or well, that's two different sports, but they dunk it.
That was their sweet spot. Like that's where, like, that and Brotherhood, I think, were where this game series, at least for its first iteration, was like, that's where it was hitting on all cylinders. People were like, okay, they saw the potential of Assassin's Creed 1, and then they realized it in 2. They refined it even more in Brotherhood, and then once Revelations came around, that people were like, this is a little samey. And then 3 tried to really change things up with, we're going to America, and and you start to climb one tree, and you go, this isn't like the architecture of early America is just not conducive to cool assassin shit.
Right.
And I think it really lost something in there.
Agreed. And I think that this one so far has felt like the Baghdad is perfect for the parkour elements, as I've been trying to like do a little bit here while we're running around. But all that, I mean, while I'm happy to have a remembrance of what made me love Assassin's Creed, it again, like, I feel like I know exactly what to do, which that's fine. Like, these are junk food games for me, man. Like, and I say that lovingly. Like, these are games that I will always pick up and check out because there's enough boxes being checked of a formula that I like a lot in an RPG. And while I'm not a huge, like, stealth games aren't necessarily my favorite type of games, I've always enjoyed the kind of collectathon and history, as you called out, of these games, which make them feel just of a time and place that's worth exploring.
And the stealth here is so much less stringent than something like a Splinter Cell. Like when you play those early Splinter Cell games, those are, you get seen and the mission's done. This one is much more, okay, I can have a little fight now, I can run away, I can reset stuff, I can go and fix my notoriety, I can come and try again. It's less, I mean, I said it before, it's less stringent. It just makes it for a more comfortable time. So even if you aren't the biggest stealth game fan, I don't think this is too bad.
Tell me who this is.
Is there anything more you can tell me about
hang on.
Why would it be
I have no idea.
The people there are in quiet support of the rebels.
I mean, Roshan? Oh, you mean the voice?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a little quiet for me, but you did tell me it was the voice of Lakshmi 2 from Destiny. Yes. She's also in a lot of the trailers. The voice here is in a lot of the trailers.
So she is the basically head of the brotherhood that she's been mentoring you, and she's giving you clues. So we just got a new clue on where our next target would be. So as we work towards this, you can also fast travel to any synchronized viewpoint that you've got, which is awesome. That is let me get out of here. I don't know if I want to show the story beat of that next mission, but maybe I can show a little bit of outside the city here. Let me just try and get us over to this location here. I'll just do that.
Are there still is the whole deal here still that you're taking out the Templars?
You are taking out a group in this one. It's a little bit earlier and stuff, given the time frame of it, but it's not Origins level. So like Origins obviously kicked off all of this, but it's very much established at this point in time. Like the Brotherhood you are kind of expanding the Brotherhood in Valhalla. Like your character's there working with the protagonist's brother, and that leads to more of you're going to become an assassin, a Viking assassin.
Okay.
And there's always going to be Templar faces, but like so far I've been very early in this, so they have not come right out and said, "Hey, you're fighting Templars." They've kind of alluded to it broadly in this one.
Okay. Yeah, the story definitely got away from me at one point. Like Altair was the originator of the assassins group, but then we went to Origins where it was like, oh, actually in ancient Egypt it was way earlier than that. And I'm like, oh, okay, I thought Altair is the reason all this thing started, but sure.
Yes, yeah, the Origins was like the actual Brotherhood creation. Let's see if I can do this way. I think that's the way to go about it. Yeah.
Yep. That is still cool after all these years.
Yes. And they I still think the best introduction of the Hidden Blade was in Origins. I don't know if you got that far in it or not.
Didn't they? Yeah, they told you why you had to cut off the finger or something.
Well,
or wasn't it an accident? It was like an accident, right? Yeah.
He fires it the first time, he cuts his fucking finger off, and so the whole the whole Brotherhood is just basically based off of an accident. Like this whole thing that you thought was like this symbolic, which I mean it is. Don't get me wrong.
It is now, yeah, but yeah, that is kind of funny.
Yes, come over here, you jerks.
So you just have the one hidden blade, yes? This is an Assassin's Creed 2 where you got one on each hand.
Correct.
Where you can double assassinate.
Correct.
Okay. That works.
Yeah, that works out much better.
How
funny
about
when
a
you have
sword
two
to your
people.
neck? That's weird.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep moving this way to grab a few more things here, and okay, we've got.
Do you miss like as a person who has played Origins and Odyssey and Valhalla? Do you miss anything from that style here, or are you really enjoying this kind of return to form?
I like the return to form a whole lot. It's not that I don't like those games. I like Odyssey probably the best out of that group. Valhalla was very good. It's just too much. And here, they're still making that. I think it's being called Code Red right now, or Codename Red, which is going to be their basically feudal Japan. They're doing that whole thing again, where I think they're going to start to balance out Assassin's Creed with mainline, like what we're seeing here, and then you'll get, of course, the kind of fantasy Odysseys where they go more RPG heavy. Like this just feels fucking awesome to be able to come in here and do all this. Why can't I assassinate this guy?
I don't know. He was in a chair. He was like primed for assassination, but now he's poisoned
And dead.
and now he's poisoned and dead.
Let's keep moving up here, taking these guys out. I'll show a little bit more. I mean, you have seen. I say this in the best way.
Like this is the game.
This is the game. Like, if you don't like this, then you're probably not going to like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
But I like this a whole lot. And
Have you talked to any weird gods lately?
No,
Okay.
not yet.
Oh, he's not happy about that.
Well, I wouldn't be either.
He just murdered my friend. Oh, there's a
And
parry.
him.
Oh yeah, that'll work. That'll work just fine. The combat in Assassin's Creed 1 and I think 2 as well. Like, yes, you weren't supposed to get into combat, but also combat was super easy.
Yes.
At least in 1, it might have been in 2 as well. You just had, as long as I'm holding the block button, I can't get touched. And then I just have to time my counter correctly, and then they're dead, and then they're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much this here as well.
There you go. Oh, damn. Countered two at once.
Yes.
That was too easy.
So pretty fucking cool. We're going to keep heading this way. I just want to show you outside the city really quick, and then we'll wrap it up there. But they do not throw an overwhelming amount of icons at you. There's certainly a lot of them, but not like the other games, in my opinion. Like everything, it's pretty simple as far as that goes. Oh.
Yeah. Hi. Just a little casual little kiss.
We're going to get some notoriety now.
Yeah.
We already got one.
I'm also just really impressed with these games when, like, you have to build these games. You have to really think about the level design and the architecture stuff, because you're going to be climbing and running over all this stuff.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to like rooftops. Like, it's not just, hey, let's build some cool architecture. It is, we have to build things in like interesting distances to make it like, okay, you can make like a quick hop and get onto this building, but this one you have to make a bigger leap and climb up something. You know, this is something that a guard can follow you on, and this is something that they can't. Where do you put hiding places? I remember Assassin's Creed 1, I don't think there were any hiding places on the roofs, but in Assassin's Creed 2 they added like some kind of like weird daybed kind of things with curtains over them that you could just dive into. But it lets you play, you know, these high-speed chases and things in really interesting ways, and to build the architecture, the level design to make that work is really impressive.
I agree.
Which is why 3 did nothing. Oh, you got assassinated.
Got assassinated hard by that guy. Fuck me.
But that's why 3 didn't do much for me, because the buildings were just not interesting. They were spaced much more far out, because this is America was still relatively new at the time. We weren't building really dense architecture, and I thought climbing and jumping between trees just did not feel the same as going through the cool architecture of buildings, and it just lost me completely. And I know people like came right back when it came to 4 and doing the pirate stuff and all the sea shanty shit, but at that point I think I just had enough. And because at one point this is my favorite series. Assassin's Creed 1, despite its issues, was one of my favorite games of all time, and now it's like an era of games that I'm like, man, I couldn't imagine playing an open world game with this many fucking icons on it, because it just makes me exhausted.
Well, it's one of the reasons why I wanted to show this game to you, because I know that you are a fan of that game. We've talked a lot about that, just given my kind of love for the series. And I think I feel like I've maybe mentioned like, hey, I really am liking this Assassin's Creed multiple times to you, but I think if you were like going to ever dip your toe back into it, knowing you have a fatigue right now with open world games, knowing that you have an enjoyment of that era of Assassin's Creed, I think this is the one to check out.
I mean, hearing that this was meant to be DLC and is only 20 hours long compared to the not 20 hours that something like Odyssey or Valhalla would be, I am much more inclined to play this one over many of the other ones. I really wanted to like Origins because I like Egyptian stuff as well, and seeing that they were trying something new from the very staid formula that they had gone with. God, I don't even remember all the names. I mean, Syndicate, Unity,
Black Flag.
Sure, yeah, Rogue. Like I was definitely done with that stuff. So for them to be like, okay, we're going into this more actiony game, doing this kind of Destiny style stuff, even though I didn't know if that would be for me, still the idea that they were changing things up relatively significantly, that I wanted to give that a shot, and it was cool. I just didn't click with it enough to stay with it. But seeing this has me more interested than any other Assassin's Creed game has in the recent past. So that's definitely a cool thing. Also, you're riding a camel. Camels are cool.
Camels are cool. You can upgrade your mount and get like horses and stuff. And Ubisoft Connect, as you called out, you can get all the other assassin outfits through that. They've got really wild kind of like turning your mount into a hell beast and like have that dumb shit. But you know, I shouldn't say it's dumb. If that's how you want to play the game.
Origins also had like some supernatural stuff, like you're fighting big serpents and shit like that. It wasn't just the Ubisoft Connect. Hey, here's a like I remember in Brotherhood, I had the Raiden outfit from Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah.
And like this is stupid, but this is also great. You could also get the Altair outfit, which of course is what I wanted to do. But yeah, Origins like made that into, well, to be fair, was it Brotherhood or Revelations had you like talking to Athena at one point that I referenced earlier when you're talking to weird gods.
Yeah, like you then go and kill them in Odyssey.
Yeah, and the Apple of Eden, like all that stuff was weird, but it felt relatively grounded. Whereas Origins was like, you're fighting Big Snake now.
Yes,
like, okay. Have you gotten any hint of that so far, or is it just the Connect stuff of like, okay, now you're riding a flaming horse or whatever?
Yeah, it's just that so far. Like, you pick up the thing kicks off and there's a disc that shows an assassination from what looks to be like the future. It's like a holograph, and you're like, what the fuck is this? Because you're just a little street thief and you're just trying to make some money. And then the assassins are like, oh, you've kind of seen some stuff. We want to talk to you a bit more. And then you go through training and you kind of learn, and that's how it plays out so far. But the other thing to call out that you might be into here is that this is $50. So $50 is nice. 20-hour Assassin's Creed, self-contained, old school. If you enjoyed those types of games, there's definitely something here for you. Dome of the Ass.
All right, we found it. Everybody. Bobby? Did you mean for this to happen?
The Dome of the Ass? Well, I always want to find the Dome of the Ass. And look, there he is.
There he is.
That's his dome. Revel in it,
Mr. Dome.
But yeah, man, it's very, very cool. Oh, you remember these, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if this guy falls for it.
He's tied out. It's fall, y'all.
It's fall, y'all.
Gonna jump into a leaf pile.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot here. It runs really well. Like, I know that some of these games have had, there's not without bugs, of course, but this thing runs pretty damn good, and I think it looks pretty all right also.
We didn't talk about platforms. It's on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. It's also on PC. I imagine that's where you're playing it right here.
Yep.
So it came out October 5th. Apparently, according to Wikipedia, and I think this is right, there's going to be an iOS version of this next year.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I mean, we were just talking about it recently off the air about how the iOS stuff is, they're starting to put full price games on that thing, and your phones are powerful enough to run these things. Yeah,
which is crazy.
I mean, you've always been at the head of that kind of stuff. You've had like the controllers and things to like play real games on your phone. I am much more of like, I just want like the quick, easy puzzle game that I can play for 5 minutes. But you've been ahead of the curve. You've been playing real games on your phone for a long time.
Yeah, man, it's been pretty damn good. Let me kill a few more people here, and then we'll wrap it up. But I think that there's definitely something to enjoy with this game. Ubisoft Plus is on more of the consoles now. I think it's on PlayStation and Xbox, if I'm not mistaken.
The Ubisoft stuff?
The Ubisoft Plus service.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So if you really wanted to, you could spend the $15, I think it is, for a month and play this game. And have a great time with it. There's definitely something to enjoy. Honestly, man, that might not be a bad way for you to check it out. If you were considering it, like right there on PlayStation 5, I think it would be perfect for that. Okay, he's poisoned. This guy's tough. I wonder. He seems a little bit more. This is the guy that killed me the last time, or at least like him.
Yeah, he's got double blades too. Like he's
he's
using your moveset.
Oh yeah, and he's healing.
Interesting.
I don't have any more heals. Let's see if I can get him. Nope. He's tough. He's a tough guy.
He seems good. He seems pretty good.
Chase, this is Assassin's Creed Mirage. It is very much if you've been playing Assassin's Creed for the last 2 decades, this is very much like where it started, with all the modern upgrades and fidelities that you would want. I'm really enjoying it. I will probably see this one through from what I've experienced so far, and the story stuff's been picking up a little bit. I have heard that's one of the weaker elements of it compared to other entries, but it has been fun to run around Baghdad here and to learn a little bit more about this character from Valhalla. $50 pretty much on everything but the Switch. I think we said will be on iOS, right? Or is it on the Switch?
It's not on the Switch. Not on the Switch. Bobby, I just learned some concerning news.
Yes.
Unlike previous Assassin's Creed games, which featured avian companions, enemy archers can detect and shoot Enkidu, who is your eagle friend.
Yeah.
They can shoot your bird.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah, you want to keep Kidu safe.
Does he just go on a cooldown or something at that point?
I haven't lost him yet myself,
Okay.
but definitely yes. You wanna keep him safe for sure. If you enjoy these quick looks, like and subscribe to this channel here, because we put them up twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. We also play games like this one right here live on twitch.tv/casual hour. And if you wanted to see more of that, you can go like, subscribe, follow, whatever you can do on Twitch there, where we will be playing on Mondays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Central. And if you just want to hear us talk about games, well, we do that every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central, right there on Twitch. And you can follow along with all the fun stuff that we've got going on. And we would love to have you hanging out. Chase, I'm getting my ass kicked yet again. Let's end this stream.
Your friend's back.
Yes. Oh, it's him again. I forgot. We will wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for hanging out. We'll talk to you all very soon.